Yeah, man, it's great. Once you set up, you don't really have to do anything. It's super easy.
Maybe I'll have to give it a shot. It sounds like it could be fun.
Are you guys talking about camping?
Yeah.
It's one of the most disgusting, shameful things a person can do. How do you live with yourself?
No, not that kind of camping. We mean actual camping.
You know, like with a tent, campfire, marshmallows.
I'm sorry, did I not make myself clear enough?
Camping. You either love it or you hate it. In real life, it's the act of hunkering down with a tent in a quiet, secluded area to marvel at nature's glory. But in gaming, the act is rooted in far more devious intentions. Instead, these digital miscreants lock down a prime location not to enjoy peace, but rather to incite rage.
Oh my god, a rocket
No, they're
launcher.
definitely not dead! Dude, what are you doing over there camping by a rock, you fucking cock?
So how has this heinous practice persisted for decades? Well, camping tactics initially started with early FPS games like Quake, and the purpose was pretty simple. You'd hide somewhere, typically near a weapon spawn location that drew a lot of activity, and when anyone entered your line of sight, you'd kill them before they could figure out where you were. But instead of moving on, you'd stay in your hiding place, rinse and repeat. Like cheese strategies, nothing in-game prevented camping in any way, but that didn't stop players from considering it dishonorable bullshit. The frantic nature of deathmatch assumes that players typically move around throughout a game. After all, if everyone playing deathmatch camped, there would be no game, so clearly camping is kind of unethical. In those early days of online gaming, private servers were run by all-powerful admins, and players who developed reputations as annoying campers could find themselves quickly facing their wrath. But camping became a widespread enough nuisance that admins had to look for other solutions. To combat the problem, they deployed add-ons like Lithium for Quake 2, mods that penalized immobile players by reducing their frag counts if they remained stationary. Camping was such an issue in id Software's games that it actually produced one of the first ever works of machinima, a video entitled Diary of a Camper, starring id's lead designer John Romero as its deplorable antagonist.
It's awesome.
Anyway, as first-person shooters moved towards more objective-based gameplay, camping diversified too. Players would still loiter in advantageous locations.
Don't know where you think you're going, mate. You've not got your boarding pass on you.
But they'd also hole up inside their own spawn points, or crank up the BM by camping their opponents.
This is actually good because they're not going to think to look for the demo man just sitting there waiting for them to spawn.
Eventually, camping made its way from FPSs to MMORPGs, where it evolved yet again. In groundbreaking titles like EverQuest, killing monsters or mobs was the primary way you gained experience or specific item drops, so players would commonly set up camp in certain areas. Some of these camping spots even developed ridiculous nicknames.
Yeah, Assassin Supply Room, also known as Ass Up.
And if Ass Up wasn't your camping ground of choice, there was also the finger-looking good KFC Penthouse and Hermit. Yeah, you just murdered this guy who wants to be left alone every 10 minutes for experience.
Gruesome and grisly video games.
In World of Warcraft, gameplay was tailored more around completing quests rather than grinding mobs, although it was occasionally still necessary in vanilla. Camping in WoW served two main purposes: grinding for rare spawns, and more notoriously, griefing on PvP servers. Someone would stand over your body after you died and kill you again as soon as you respawned. These incredibly annoying encounters were able to bring the worst out of WoW players, a group not known for mincing their words.
That's why you fucking pussies don't fuck with people in real life. You have to fuck with people on the internet because we'll fucking take you out. Right to the fucking balls.
And in WoW, camping wasn't always a fair fight. High-level players would often travel to leveling zones to gank and camp so-called lobies. Blizzard even acknowledged their community's frustration with the tactic by making it so that when you typed /camp, it set up a cute little campfire. Just kidding, it kicks you from the fucking game. Inevitably, camping made the jump to MOBAs as well. In Dota 2, it manifests in fountain camping, a popular form of infuriating BM.
Nothing is really going here in Thompson. He's the man that's going.
while in League of Legends, it's more commonly used to describe a jungler who focuses on ganking one lane constantly to get their teammates ahead. Although the practice is maligned by its victims, it's largely an accepted aspect of the game.
You want the opportunity to do a little bit more damage?
I'd like the opportunity to play League of Legends.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, son.
So what exactly can you do about camping? Well, in modern FPS games, the tactic is actually more often a liability. Once opponents understand the map, there's almost always a way to get behind the camper and deliver a vengeful killing blow. Although deathmatch-style games waned in popularity for a while, they're back in full swing with the Battle Royale genre. And the developers of these games quickly realized that on such expansive maps, camping could be an issue. To nullify its threat, they decided to make the playable area shrink in varying ways over time, forcing the sneaky cowards to adapt their strategy.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you. You're dead. You're gonna lose the fucking game. You're a bush camping bitch! Fuck!
Developers have also tried to prevent it in other genres by introducing mechanics that reveal campers' positions. Whether it's in the form of abilities that allow players to see through walls,
go to sleep,
indirect fire weapons and maps that make using them easier.
This is him with the long-range floopage. I'm hitting him.
And even intel tools like drones in Rainbow Six Siege. Additionally, the widespread incorporation of kill cams and spotting mechanics have made it so camping players are quickly transformed from being the hunters into the hunted.
Clever girl.
So the bottom line is that against an experienced player with all the tools at their disposal, camping today just shouldn't be an effective strategy. Sure, you might get caught off guard once or twice, but anything more than that, and you might need to take a long, hard look in the mirror.
And cut. So what are you doing for lunch?
I don't know, man, but I'm starving. I went to get some oatmeal this morning, but it was all gone.
Me too. It's almost like someone is
camping the spawn. After all, if everyone playing deathmatch camped, there would be no game. So clearly, deathmatch is clearly unethical. Well, kind of.
It incites violence and is corrupting the youth.
That's right. So how has this anus? I almost said how has this anus act?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Forget the trailer. Just give me the beer. This is the.
Just a box of beer.
Yeah. This is camping, right?